Hello gentle viewer and welcome to today's episode of the 928 EV. Brakes, electrics, the old petrol stuff's gone, interesting things are happening. Today's episode is brought to you by GoPro, the technology that never fails to disappoint. Just when you need it to work, it doesn't. I tell you, if the NASA Space Shuttle program was built on GoPro technology, there would be no astronauts alive today. Great vision, great pictures, look how nice those pictures are. Great audio, but they just friggin' stop working, especially if you run them in the highest resolution mode, so don't do that. Anyway, thank you GoPro, on with the episode.
So have you got one Porsche or... Oh, see you later. We got it running.
Yeah.
Next time. Well, it's going to run on the other side of... on the west coast now.
No, this one's going Queensland.
Oh, Queensland.
Sunny coast.
Sunny coast.
Alright. Goodbye little V8 motor, or should I say giant size relic from last century. What do you say, Matt?
Yeah, that's it. More space.
To put electric stuff. Bye little motor. Oh well, at least it's created some space in the workshop for Matt. Let's see how he's going. And look, you're tidying up.
Ah, just,
Getting organised.
getting organised.
Okay, so the story is last week we went to bleed the brakes. We've
Yep.
got new rotors, new discs, they all look fantastic, but the brakes wouldn't bleed.
They wouldn't know.
Why was that? Because you don't know what you're doing.
No, that's it. The oil or brake fluid gets to the start of the rubber line, crack it, pressure coming out. Does it get to the end of the rubber line? No. It's swollen internally and it's just sealed up. So
Who's ever heard of that?
it's. I've heard it once on a Corolla, but old Corolla, but yeah. And literally, you press on that pedal as hard as you want.
I did.
Nothing.
Nothing came out.
So whether
Okay.
it had the wrong brake fluid and they've swollen, age.
Yeah.
Were they aftermarket brake hoses? I can't remember already.
No, they
Genuine.
seem to be standard, but
So-
we're changing them. We've bought stainless steel ones, which are
Yeah.
arriving shortly. So, next job.
Next job, brake hoses, and we'll have brakes all rebuilt, new caliper, seals,
Yep.
boots.
Yep.
Front
I
rear.
enjoyed doing the seals. So
Yeah, seals are good.
it was a fun job.
You can see how bad the old ones were. So
I don't think this is part of my car. There's a Koya Works Renault exhaust system hanging off my brakes. I don't think that's part of the... That's not part of the EV, is it, this thing here? No.
not stage 1, stage 2.
Stage 2 mod. What's this machine? What do you call this thingy?
This is the plasma cutter.
It sounds dangerous. Anything with the word plasma in it sounds dangerous.
What we want. Safe tools aren't fun. You need to have a risk factor in everything. So what we do is I've just gone and drawn. So our engine man will sit in there. And this is just a sample in 1.6. And that's it. So we should have under here, we should have an idea of what the pipe sale is going to look like. A little bit of dross, but nice and quick. And that'll snugly go in there. And then this will come up here. I've overlapped it a little bit, like kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's our mount. We'll build some ears off this plate. So yeah.
It's a little bit open, isn't it?
Yeah, I go wider.
Yep.
Because I always clean it up with a grinder and
Yeah,
the world will fill that. So
Beautiful. Okay.
that's alright.
So that was just like 2 mil plate,
That's 1.6.
1.6. And now what are you going to cut it in?
I think this is 5.
5 mil. How often do you change that water?
That's just been changed.
Has it?
Yeah, literally.
There's little goldfish in there. Look, it's Nemo.
And there it is.
Beautiful.
That's quicker than setting up the chuck and the drill.
Yeah, yeah.
And we've got to make 4 of them, so we've got that there,
Right.
which is nice.
Lovely. So I've put the inverter on here just to see what it looks like, and it's kind of flush with the bottom. So that's not too bad still. The whole point was to take a 928 that couldn't be back on the road again and save it. But I think I needed to start with a better car. It would have been better to take one of my 928s and do this, because everything exposed underneath here is, what's the right word I'm looking for? Fucked.
Yeah, it sure is.
These brake lines, we did the nice rotors and pads, great. We said, great, let's get new brake
Yep.
lines, and here they are. Lovely new brake lines, nice stainless steel ones.
Yep.
But in trying to get the old ones off, we found, I reckon somebody's used Loctite in there. See the orange residue? This is the right spanner. It's a brake spanner. Oh, God, that's like a flywheel bolt on a Volkswagen Beetle. It's been Loctited as well. Finally. Combination of corrosion and Loctite has destroyed that fitting. Anyway, that was just completely locked, so the line itself was corkscrewed unavoidably. We can't trust the brake hose, but not only that, we can't trust the line itself, so it's very depressing.
This should turn independent to that line,
Yeah.
but it's just
It
turned
just
with
wouldn't.
it. So,
Even if we clamped it there and turned it, it
Yeah.
just would not move. So, and who Loctites these things?
yeah, we thought, we'll put new lines on. Steel generally lasts the life of the car, but they're just, you can't help it. You can't hold that because you'll destroy it.
Okay, so I'll take these hoses away and get them remade.
We can just hand bend it in.
Yeah. Okay.
And
it's a big hole it's going
yeah.
through, so it's all right.
we've got get a bit of rubber put there.
Yeah, that's typical of the rubber in this car, isn't it?
Just gone.
Look, that was a rubber grommet,
Yeah,
and now it's just. Sorry, I hope that's falling in your bucket.
sure is. So anyway, look, rebuilt calipers,
Yeah.
new pads, new rotors.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that so much of the system is just so far gone. But
I need you to cheer me up because I've banged my head already once today.
once we get these lines, they're only short. Both of them are this long.
Yeah.
We'll just get some ends, get it flared, and then our braking system we can be confident is bang on.
It's doable.
You know, what do we do when we did the calipers? Oh, we'll just pop the pistons out. Oh, they're not just popping out. What do you know? I had to put in the oven for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And bake the seal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a new caliper, but we got them all done.
Yeah.
This is just the last step in the process. We'll get, last step.
He's got a nice can-do attitude, and we like that. But
We could have just thrown the calipers away and got more second-hand ones with the same issues. You know, who knows?
yeah. I just thought we'd come in
Everything's
today,
good.
we'd spend an hour, we'd bleed the brakes,
It'd be done.
it'd be done.
No.
And it's turned into a 2-day exercise.
So, anyway,
Anyway.
trip to the brake shop, new lines, everything's new. Well, good. So,
All right. Well, you've cheered me up a little bit.
we'll
Thanks.
get there. It sucks that it's just stuff we don't have in stock right now.
And I'll be so glad when we get finished with fixing up the Porsche stuff.
Yeah.
We strip everything out that we possibly can. And the more I look at things, the more things are going. Do we need brake pad wear sensors? No, we don't. The wiring on every connector was so corroded, I thought, we're just not going to use them. We're never going to wear our brake pads to this thing. And when we do, we'll know about it because I'll be watching it. And so will you. So it's not something we need a light on the dash to tell us about. But you can tell my attitude's getting a bit belligerent with this car now, can't you? Don't worry, I'll settle down as soon as we get back on the electric stuff. All right, I vented. Carry on. What you doing, Matt?
Just tightening up all the brake lines.
Oh, those are the new fittings that I drove across town to collect.
That's it. Tighten everything up and put some fluid in and see where, hopefully it doesn't leak.
See if it bleeds.
And see if we get fluid to the calipers.
Yeah. In the meantime, I've been working inside the dash using my new Deutsch connector skills. So let's get VoiceOver Stu to tell you what I've done and why. Now you might remember early on I planned on using the original Porsche cluster and just repurpose these cool looking but largely irrelevant Porsche dials. We were going to turn them into electric motor temperature, the vehicle range, speedo of course, power output and power input coming back into the battery, high voltage battery voltage, and the 12-volt battery. That would still be cool, but that was when I was planning on using the Tesla motor. Since we made the crazy decision to scoop out the whole electrical system and the loom from the MG, including the dash, it is actually much smarter to use the MG's instrument cluster, which already has all of this essential information and a whole lot more. There are literally dozens and dozens of possible messages that can come up that I'm going to need to see. And what's more, the MG pod fits quite neatly inside the Porsche binnacle, so at least it'll look reasonable. But I still need a bunch of warning lights on the dash that come from the Porsche's original electrical system as well. Now, we are still using the Porsche's cool pop-up headlights, the wipers, the blinkers, the brake lights and so on, but to get it through registration I need to have some essential warning lights on the dash, like blinkers, hazards, high beam, parking brake for example. So to make that happen I've had to tap into the wiring loom going to the original instruments. Now, every wiring diagram I found online for this cluster was completely wrong. Porsche seems to change it every year, and I just wasn't able to find one that actually matched my cluster. So I manually retraced the copper tracks to figure out what went where, including the 20 little original warning lights, and it all comes back through these 3 connectors, and then I made up my own little diagram. I don't want the original little globes anyway, because they're pretty dim and very corroded. So I bought a bunch of LED dash lights from China for about $1 each, and I made up my own little harness using these fabulous Deutsch connectors instead of the flaky old Porsche ones. Huzzah! Now the whole thing's been a worthwhile exercise because it's just good practice for me, and I'm going to have to do an awful lot of wiring. But does it work?
Okay, alright, so even though the engine bay's denuded and most of the wiring's gone, let's put 12 volts on there, and yeah, it looks like we've got some voltage. Let's see how my dash wiring went. That's good, we got something. Hey, look at that. It's Christmas. Looks like I've done something right. Okay, start. Yeah, a whole lot of start doesn't do anything. That's good. Okay, a bit of work to be done, but I'm not unhappy with that. We got something. No, I didn't see a flash of flame and a lot of smoke, so looks like the Deutsch connectors are a success. Look, it's small steps, you know. It's like eating an elephant. How do you do it? It looks monumental. You just have to take very small bites. And that's good. Up, down, up.
Hold it down.
Holding down, down, up, down, up.
So I guess what have we done? We've rebuilt the calipers. They were seized, known issue. Rubber lines weren't flowing any fluid, replaced. We've put new hard lines in just because the old ones were torn. And now we're going to bleed it. We bled the master. We're getting fluid out, but we're not getting much flow. Very little flow. We get some wheels are getting more than others, but we just can't build a good pedal. It sounds like it's got air in here, like it's bypassing back and forward between the.
You've put about 2 litres of fluid through it already.
Yeah, we put heaps through. Generally, you get some pedal, but we can't get any.
Yeah.
Real sort of solid pedal. So, as you mentioned, Stu, the brake shop said.
Yeah, he said if you're going to change, if the rest of the car's that bad, you may as well do the master cylinder. It's probably shot as well.
We'll take it off and we'll just pull it out and look at the cups.
Yep.
And go, wow, that cup is torn.
Yeah.
It might be in perfect condition and we just need to bleed it better. So we got 3 11s and 2 13s.
Okay. One disappointment after another.
Generally you get with brakes, it's not the whole system from master cylinder calipers, but
yeah,
it looks like this will be.
Yeah.
Literally rubber lines that do not flow fluid.
Yeah.
Calipers we thought we're going to have to throw away and get new ones, but everything's working.
Yeah.
This is the only unknown we haven't cited to go, it's good.
Yeah.
So.
And the moral of the story is, if you're going to take an old 928 and make it an EV, don't start with a basket case. Start with a halfway decent one.
Buy old cars, they say. It's fun, they say. How much is a new Porsche going to cost with perfect brakes?
Look, if I'd bought a $10,000 car instead of a $5,000-$6,000 car, we would have already saved about $8,000.
This is all brand new.
But the whole point was, I didn't want to take a good car that could be.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a car that was unresuscitable.
Yeah.
And
So I've created a rod for my own back in doing that. That was a bad idea, but anyway.
It is what it
We're
is.
here now. Okay. Hopefully the last element in the that might need attention. You've got really beautiful hair. Has anyone ever told you that?
No.
I'd run my hands through it, except they're covered in brake fluid.
Moving on.
I don't have a good head. As usual, I keep dinging it on things. So you'd normally expect to see a little circlip there.
Yeah, like one with holes you can...
Yeah, where you can pinch them together and
Actually-
get it out.
Someone's probably screaming going, it's so simple. Just buy a tool 6042.
We don't have a 6042. We've done everything else, so I priced them. And Bob Wims has had them on order for about a year.
Wow.
And he said they'll be over $1,000. $1,000
Yeah.
for a master cylinder. So maybe we can save this one.
Maybe. So we got this circlip out here.
Yeah.
Which
was broken anyway.
sits in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can push this down and even that spring pressure, it should want to shoot out.
Yeah. You saw the cutaway. There is a kit available.
Yeah.
From Pelican or 928s or us, and they're like 130, 140 bucks US plus 40 freight.
Yep.
It's about 180,
Yep.
which is like 250, 260 bucks
Yeah.
just for the overhaul kit. But that's if the bore's good.
Yes.
So we probably got to find out whether the bore's good first.
That's it. I think we got two options. We could either like put some vice grips on there and try and like pull it, slide hammer. You know, I've tried soaking it with WD-40, or we could drill a hole and like put a lever point in there, because the bit like this tube's like a guide.
That's
you know,
that's all it is. Yeah.
So we're not.
It's just a guide so that the pin fits.
Yeah, in there.
So yes.
That's quite thin. If we try and put some vice grips on there, we probably will crush it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll drill a hole.
Yep.
And we'll get two screwdrivers on there and pop it out.
Okay.
Put the center pop in it. Something reasonably hard. Then we've got two lever points.
What's the betting it goes ka-choing,
Yeah,
and ends
probably-
up buried on the other side of the shop and you never find it again.
That's right. All right, you want to just hold that?
Ooh, I felt a little movement there.
Yep, that moves. That moves.
There we go.
That's flush.
Geez, it didn't want to come out by itself, did it?
Oh no.
Okay. Now the significant question is, how scored is the bore inside?
Yeah.
That actually doesn't look too bad.
Yeah. There's a bit of you can see whatever that
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It's like sand or something in there.
Great.
Which so there's
Sand in your brake fluid. Just what you need.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there's a second plunger in there. There's two.
Looks like it can't come past because of that. There's a pin down there,
Oh yeah.
which it looks like it can't come past because until we pull this pin out.
Okay. He can do the work. I just drink coffee.
Doesn't look too bad off the straight away. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's there's a tear or anything.
Okay, so why wasn't it bleeding?
Good question. But it looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't look obviously, you know, they might be worn, you know. I don't pull masters apart much. You don't really service them. It's sort of,
It actually looks not too bad.
it looks pretty good,
The
you know.
rubbers are actually fairly soft.
You can see at the very base when I start to dry it.
It has been sitting in exactly the same spot for 22 years, so
Yeah.
so that you'd expect, as you say, some moisture's got in the fluid,
Yep.
and it'll corrode itself just in one spot a little bit.
You can see
No splits.
at the base there. See, there's tiny little bits of what's the word?
Deterioration.
Deterioration.
Or
Yeah. See,
cracking.
see at the base, not where they're like the edge of the cup, but on the other edge. See these seals. You look at this N one. It's hard to see, but
Oh yeah, I
can you see all the?
Yeah, there's a slight
Yeah.
discolouring.
But then you look at these ones here, and look at the edges of them. They have nothing like it. These do look far better than that.
Yeah.
So that's one circuit there. There's another circuit. And this obviously pushes the other way. So, you know, we could try and clean this, and knowing that there's not like a seal that's chopped in half.
Yep.
Can we deadhead these, because we can put some fittings in there and just bench test it, you know?
Okay, and see if it holds.
See if it holds before we just throw parts. It's good to do diagnosis, you
Well,
know?
ordering stuff as well, there's like a month's wait there as well, so
Yeah, that's
we've
right.
got the time, so let's do it. It actually looks really good, not scored,
Yeah.
just needs a clean. So, here are the old dead bits we cut off. What's your suggestion, mate?
Well, it looks good in there from, you know, I'm not a brake shop, but the bore doesn't look damaged. You know, it's a perfect no. Will it hold pressure? As long as there's not a burst in the seal, which doesn't look like there is.
No.
We'll put it back together, clean everything, just for trying, because, you know, $1,000 for a master. We don't want to just throw parts at it. So we'll use the old brake lines that we've replaced, the torn ones.
Yeah.
I'll cut the line, I'll weld it up, so they're essentially caps then. We'll put this back in the car. We'll put fresh fluid in there. Then we can bench bleed it in the car, so we can have a fully on-off tap at each port.
Yeah.
So we know we're not introducing air back into there. I was using my fingers before.
Yep.
Once we've bled it, you can sit in there in real world conditions and go...
And push that pedal super hard and go, that's way more pressure than I'd normally ever need. It's not seeping.
That's it.
It works.
Because in a vice, I've got no tactile feel like a foot. You go, oh, it is sinking, because I can put incredible pressure on the vice and go, oh, it's sinking, but you know, we all know what a hard brake pedal feels like.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to mimic. I don't know why that nick's there, because I made that mark then by gripping it to pull it out, but
Somebody's dropped it.
I didn't go near that, so...
You reckon it's been apart before?
Oh, sorry, no, I lie. Do you know what that is? That is not from anyone. That's from that pin.
Oh, yeah.
So that's its home position.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's comes back and sits in there.
Ah, right.
Because I couldn't get this out, because I'm like, oh, there's something. And if you look, it's actually a cylindrical sort of shape, so it's rotated a bit over its time.
Oh, yeah.
But it's always come home. There's its main home point.
There you go.
So
Detective work. For once, we're feeling positive.
we'll get some brake. We'll have brakes in this, I'm sure, next week. We'll bleed it, we'll make this, and it will just work.
Well, that'll be on the next episode. See you then. Hey, thanks for watching the video, and you made it all the way to the end. You rock. Now, whether it's petrol or electric, there's a lot of Porsche content on the channel, and there's going to be a lot more. So maybe you'd like to subscribe. You might also enjoy all the other non-Porsche content we've already got. Heaps of car reviews. Electric, classic, sports, exotic. There's a bucket load there. See you next time.